Did you know the black pearl is actually real? Did he say black pearl? Not the boat. These pearls range from $250 to $36,000. I'm going to make one. Or many. When we're done, can you build me a boat? What are you doing, Dan? Right, we are back, and this one is absolutely epic. I can't wait to show you this. So many of you would have seen my previous video on making pearls using this nail builder gel, which is really thick stuff. It's like a UV activated clay. So I was looking through my supplies and I thought, what if? Now there is it's considered a rare pearl. It's called a Tahitian pearl. So I've done this a few times off of the channel on different platforms, just trying to perfect this to get it a-okay, you know, YouTube material, not so much an experiment. It still is experimental. I think there could be some tweaks, but I'm going to show you where I am at right now, and this is absolutely mind-blowing. They look like the real deal. So these are the Let's Resin Chameleon Flakes. Really good colours. There's 5 colours in there. I'm going to show you one, and then I'll do the others off camera, and you can see all of the colours that are available in this set. And the pearls they're phenomenal. So we're going to go with a green, which has got like a purpley vibe to it as well, but you'll see just how crazy this effect is. Now, I haven't seen this done. I've seen this done on nails. I've never seen it done in this kind of form to give this effect. If it has been done, I do apologize, but I've not seen it anywhere. I've tried looking for it as well. I know a lot of you watch some of the Japanese artists. I don't know. They may have done it. Again, I don't know. I'm just going to show you what I did. So we're going to start off with our builder gel, resin clay, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. It is the same thing. They just stick different labels on it. I know some of you have said, well, try resin clay. I'm pretty certain it is the same thing. It's just branded differently. So I'm just going to take a blob of this. Now bear in mind that we are going to be layering this. So if you're thinking about using a piece of hardware, say for instance a prong ring, the steps that we're going to be doing is going to be increasing the size of your pearl. So bear that in mind. If you want something to fit inside there, make it a little bit smaller than what you need to begin with. So you'd use a little bit less clay, for instance. I mean, I'm just going to show you the process. I'm not really going to show you, I might show you like a pendant or something, but this is something you're going to play around with. So for a prong ring, I would start off even smaller than that, I think. And these pearls sell for hundreds. And we're going to make pretty much identical copies. So I'd go at something like that for this, because we're going to go with a couple of dips in some UV resin, and you'll see why. These pots are 50 grams, and I didn't know this. A viewer on my last video told me about this, and I'm a little bit annoyed because if you stick your this stick in there, it's only filled halfway, so the bottom is just, I presume, full of air, which is really annoying. But even still, I think you could sell these for really good money if you make them into jewellery. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. We can still make a lot out of the contents of this pot. But that is annoying. Why do that? It's really deceiving. I've just pulled it out just to show you. I mean, what a waste. It's so annoying. So this is the size I'm going to go for. I'm just going to roll that into a nice ball. Some of you mentioned in the last video about clay bead making things. I haven't got one, but it would work. It's not sticky, it would work. Polymer clay rolling, what's the word for them? I know what I mean. So some have also said on different platforms where I've showed this, to colour this black or going with a black base. You could try. I'm just going to show you the way that I'm doing it you can tweak it any way you like. So I'm just going to roll a ball and then cure it. So once that is cured, you've got a hard ball to play with. It's got that dip on the back. Now, when I first tried this, I didn't really pay attention to the dip. I just thought, well, if that's going to go into a prong ring or something's going to, like a cap, a screw cap, it's not really going to make a difference. So I just brushed it and then carried on. But I realized that I could work my way around that by dipping it into clear UV resin first. So in here, I've just got some clear UV resin. And I'm just going to use my handheld UV torch. And I'm going to bond this to this stick. So I'm just going to dip it, get this in the middle of that flat area, and then cure it in place. This will allow me to handle the ball much easier for the effects that we're going to get. I'm shining that into my cup. Don't do that. So now we've got our ball on a stick. I'm now going to dip that into this clear UV resin and make sure that it covers the whole back. What that is going to do is take away that flatness that we've got. And it's also going to give us a really shiny base to be able to continue. And we are going to be dipping it twice. And we can now cure that. If you want to use your handheld, just keep turning it as you're curing it. That's the key. Keep turning, keep turning. For the next step, you're going to want something down just so it's less cleaning up on your silicone mat. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, to all my subs and anyone new to the channel. So this is the green. I'm just going to dip that into the chameleon flakes and give it a twirl, and that will stick to that resin. Using a soft brush, I'm just going to take away some of the excess. And now the next tip I got from a nail artist. I think her name was Claire. Can't remember now. It's on a different platform. She commented and she said you need to burnish using a silicone tool, which is something like this. I found one that's got like a rounded tip. All you do, I mean, I'm not, I know very little about nail art, is you just keep rubbing over the whole surface of the pearl. And you just keep going. Going to make a little bit of a mess, but don't worry. Circular motions. Just keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. And that will make it really, really shiny. So I'm going to keep doing this until there's no flakes left. And what I found every now and again, what works for me, is just give that excess a wipe off the silicone tool and continue. Otherwise it feels gritty and it feels like it's scratching. So just give it a wipe and carry on. It'll really polish up to like a glass-like finish. So that's where we're up to, and you can see that mirrored effect. What I do now is I just grab some paper towel and I just rub any of the dust off, because we're going to now dip this, and this also polishes it up a little bit more. See that coming out now? It's really, really shiny. Look at the colours. See, you don't have to go in with another layer. You could just dip that and cure it, but I do prefer adding just a couple of layers just to solidify it, because it has got a slight translucency to it, if you can see. But by doing it again, it really does solidify the piece. So I now do the same. I just dip that all the way up to the stick. Make sure there's no gaps. And again, that's helping round off that pearl. Take off any excess and cure it again. And we just repeat that same process. dip it, tap off, brush off, and then silicone tool to burnish all over again. I mean, look at that so far. Already it looks like an ultra rare pearl. All I need to do now is just dip that again all the way up to the stick and give that a cure, just to hold and seal that last dusting of the chameleon flakes on. So you saw me just finishing off holding my pearl under my beast of a lamp. One thing to bear in mind, guys, if you're using UV resin, is to have the correct kind of gloves. These are black nitrile gloves. I've seen resin artists holding things under their lamps with clear gloves on. That allows the UV light to penetrate through. I know, you know, you're probably thinking, but people have their nails done and hold it under there. This thing here goes up to 48 watts, which is powerful. It's a powerful lamp. And if you're doing this a lot, you don't want to be causing yourself too much exposure to UV light. So just bear that in mind. Don't be doing stuff like this with clear gloves on. It's dangerous. So there we have, you can see the green will be in the center and then it will kind of blush out into this purple. You've got hints of gold. Where we've layered it, the colors are kind of bouncing around inside the layers, giving that really, really nice real pearl effect. Now for the stick, we just give it a twist. We just turn it and we're left with that there, which we can easily just file that down. I could work out different ways of doing this without using a stick, maybe make something like this but out of resin, so then I could just snap it, file it and make a perfectly round pearl instead of this bit. What I've been doing is just taking the sharp edge of my scissors and just scraping that bit off, because it's going to be covered anyway in a moment. So if you wanted to turn these into beads, drill through that part straight through to the other side. Then you haven't got to worry about that. I'm just going to use my spring drill from Little Windows, place it on the leftover tiny bit of wood that I've got there, and just drill it. Just begin to drill a hole. I'm just going to be using these caps. I've said this before in a previous video, I've got the wrong ones. You can get the screw-in ones. You want to drill the hole smaller, if you're using the screw-in one, smaller than the actual piece itself. But I've only got these ones, so I just need to glue that in. I've scratched it with my drill. Never mind, just be more careful. I just need to glue that in place now. So I've just glued mine. It's not going to set straight away. I've just used my homemade glue. It's going to take a day to set, but some glues set off a lot quicker. Right, let's show you the other ones. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. If you haven't subbed, hit that button for me. Right, so this one is the lime colour. I've left them on the sticks, just because I just haven't got time to finish them all, but you can see the colours. This one is fuchsia. Not too keen on the finish of this one, but the colours are nice. This one is blue. It's more of a black pearl vibe. Looks different in different light as well. I've also made some into smaller pieces as well. Really stunning. They look like the real deal. And the last one is violet. Really, really nice colours. And I'll show you one that I made earlier. There you have it. Play around. It's absolutely incredible. I'm loving this so much. It's really therapeutic as well to make these. They don't take long, about 15 minutes. I mean, I've done quite a few now, so you do get a lot quicker at it. such a stunning effect. Right, I hope you enjoyed that one. I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.
It's the black pearl.
I can't do Jack Sparrow. I got a jar of this stuff.
When we're done, can you build me a boat?